Crusader campaigns were not fought only with swords and shields. They were fought with bread, meat, and ingenuity. Before we dive in, I want to remind you to subscribe to After the Sirens and comment on your favourite medieval cooking trick as we explore these historical secrets. Understanding how armies cooked in the field offers more than trivia. It gives insight into logistics, survival, and strategy that are relevant even today. Medieval soldiers faced long marches, unpredictable supply lines, and the challenge of feeding hundreds, often in hostile territories. Their solutions were ingenious adaptations of available resources. These were not leisurely campfires. They were lifelines that determined the stamina and morale of entire armies. They cooked over coals, not flames, for controlled heat. Direct flames were unpredictable and could easily burn food. Crusader cooks often waited until the wood had burned down to glowing embers. This method allowed for slow roasting or simmering, critical for tough meats and legumes. A modern application is simple. When cooking over a campfire today, avoid the high flames and focus on embers. Using a cast-iron pot, you can achieve even cooking and prevent scorching, just as armies did when preparing stews for dozens of men. They used salt, vinegar and smoke to preserve food. Supply lines were, often unreliable, and fresh meat or bread would usually spoil during campaigns. Salted and smoked meats became staples, while vinegar-based brines could keep vegetables edible for several days. Crusaders really mastered these methods, even with limited equipment like wooden barrels, iron pots, and hanging racks. You can actually replicate this with modern gear by curing small cuts of meat with salt or by using a smoker. Understanding these preservation techniques also allowed armies to move faster, without having to carry, cumbersome amounts of fresh food. They maximised one-pot meals to feed large groups efficiently. Just one pot could serve dozens. Soldiers would combine grains, legumes, and dried or salted meat in a single vessel over embers, making sure every meal was both nourishing and practical. A practical takeaway for today is layering ingredients with different cooking times. Dense grains at the bottom, meats above, and vegetables on top, all simmered gently. This is exactly how medieval cooks kept hundreds fed using minimal fuel and utensils. When bread or flatbreads were needed, Crusader cooks often buried dough beneath heated stones or coals, a primitive but effective oven. This method avoided the need for large structures and could be adapted for outdoor survival or reenactments. Modern campers can emulate this by lining a fire pit with stones and wrapping dough in foil. The result is a rustic bread that's historically accurate and surprisingly efficient. Metal pots and pans were, quite rare and heavy, so soldiers often made do with clay pots, gourds, or even hollowed logs. This kind of flexibility, you see, allowed armies to cook in just about any environment without lugging around excessive weight. Today, learning to cook in unconventional vessels not only, teaches historical accuracy, but also really improves adaptability for survival situations. Even simple aluminum pots over coals can emulate these ancient methods, and do so quite safely. Fresh herbs, wild vegetables, and even insects would supplement rations. Crusaders scavenged or bartered for these ingredients, enhancing meals both nutritionally and, I dare say, taste-wise. Applying this in the field today encourages creativity. Foraging for edible plants near campsites using wild garlic, nettles, or berries mirrors the ingenuity that kept medieval soldiers healthy far from home. They synchronized cooking with military movements. Meal preparation was timed around marches, sieges, and battles. Early risers lit fires to have porridge and meat ready by sunrise, ensuring troops had energy before long marches. Timing was crucial. A poorly cooked meal could delay movements or reduce stamina. Now, modern survivalists, can really apply this lesson by organizing meal prep around their activity schedules. This approach ensures energy efficiency and, effective time management in any extended outdoor scenario. These 7 hacks were more than culinary tricks. They were, in fact, lifelines that determined the success of campaigns. The ingenuity and adaptability of Crusader armies reveal lessons not only in history, but, also in modern survival strategy and culinary creativity under duress. Understanding these methods enriches our appreciation of historical logistics, the discipline required to sustain armies, and honestly, the resourcefulness of soldiers facing scarcity. Experimenting with these techniques today offers a tangible connection to the past, allowing anyone to experience, at least in part, a fragment of medieval life. If you found these insights valuable, take a moment to subscribe to After the Sirens for more historical deep dives and, comment below on which technique you would attempt first. Share this video with fellow history enthusiasts and reenactors to spread the knowledge of how Crusader armies truly sustained themselves abroad.